What we're going to look at in this last session is we're going to look at it a little more globally. We're going to look at the idea that across the world, governments are putting in place legislation which is forcing health practitioners to embrace something called affirmative care. Scott Nugent of Trey Voices is campaigning to put a stop to this medical transitioning of teens. He argues that transgender medical treatment is highly experimental and there are various complications that teens and parents are simply not informed about. Dr. Erica Anderson, president of the US Professional Association for Transgender Health, who is a transgender woman herself, believes that the sloppy healthcare work is going to cause more and more young people to live with regret after having gone through this process. And Nugent claims that it is pharmaceutical companies who are behind the drive to expedite the medical transitioning of teens. Why? Money. He says that pharmaceutical companies make an average of $1.3 million over the lifetime of one transgender person. And these powerful corporations are the ones responsible for so many children being pushed into medical transitioning without proper procedures and processes. So here's a scenario for you. You're a cisgender teenage boy and you have a friend who is questioning his gender, and actually questioning his gender to the extent that he is thinking of transitioning in various ways. What do you do? What do you say? How do you lovingly engage with your friend? I think one of the most loving things we can do for the people in our worlds is to help them ask the hard questions. The version of love that somehow we embrace a lot is, I'm just going to agree with them. And I'm going to say, go for it, I support you, I love you, be your best version of yourself. That's great. But if you feel like what they're doing is not a good idea, you're allowed to say that. And actually, as a friend who has that connection, who has that trust, you are positioned to be a voice that brings the other side of the arguments, who brings the what ifs, who helps them see long term, ask those questions, look through those scenarios, and actually maybe help them to just put the pause button on for a little while they figure out who they are and what is really going on inside them.